Hello and welcome. My name is Savannah. Today we are going to use yoga blocks to elevate our practice. So you'll want to grab 2 yoga blocks, and we'll be using our blocks throughout class to challenge ourselves, to kick our practice up a notch, to strengthen our bodies, and to just try some different creative things. Once you are ready with your blocks and your mats, you can meet me lying down on your back. Make sure you have 1 block near your head as you lie down onto your back. So starting here by connecting to the breath. So make any adjustments or movements that you need to make in order to settle in, finding a little bit more ease and comfort on your back here. And then as you settle in, as you feel ready, bring your awareness, bring your attention to your breath. Watch your breath as it moves in, and watch your breath as it moves out. Notice if you are breathing through your nose or through your mouth. Notice if you are breathing through your nose or through your mouth. Notice if your breath is soft and quiet. Notice if it is a little bit stronger, a little bit louder. Sense and feel your breath as it moves in and as it moves out. Allow your breath to guide you through your practice. Know that this is your practice, so please do what feels right for you and your body today. You can always pause the video if you would like to try the exercise or the movement that we're doing for a little bit longer. You can also pause the video if you would like to take a break. You can press play whenever you are ready to join back in. We'll take a couple more breaths right here. Notice how your physical body is feeling. Good. Bend your legs. You can bring that block towards the top of your mat. So it's out of the way when you bring your arms into a T. Lift your legs up, and we'll just take a supine twist to each side before we start using the block. So we'll bring the legs over to the left-hand side. Now, if you would like to, you can place the block in between your legs or underneath your legs for some support and assistance in this twist. Otherwise, if you're comfortable where you are, stay there and settle in. Good. We're going to take this back through center and then just over to the second side. So legs will drop down towards the right side. You can use that block if you would like here. You can place it in between your legs, or you can place it underneath your right knee. Look wherever feels comfortable for you. One more breath here. Good. Take everything back through center, knees into the chest. Give yourself a little hug. And then plant your feet down onto the mat. Setting up for bridge pose with the block. So you can bring your block towards you. Feet are about hip distance apart. All of your toes are facing forward. We're going to place the block in between our inner thighs. Ground down into your feet. Lift your hips up into your bridge pose. Squeeze your legs, your inner thighs in towards one another. Almost like you were imagining that they were going to touch each other. Lower down. As you inhale, lift up. As you exhale, lower the hips down. Continuing to move like this. Waiting for your inhale to arrive, and when it does, lift your hips up into bridge. As your exhale arrives, lower your hips down to the mat. Good. We'll do this 3 more times. Last one here. Release your hips down. Bring your legs into a tabletop position. So knees over the hips. Place your block on your thighs and place your hands on your block. It's almost like you've created a sandwich with your legs, your block, and your hands. From here, working on engaging the core as well as the quadriceps and the upper body. So think about bringing your legs in towards you, pressing your legs into the block, and then also press your hands into the block at the same time. You can keep your head down or you can lift it up. Continue to press your legs towards you, and then press your hands into your legs. We'll hold this for a little bit longer, but make sure that you're not holding your breath. So continue to breathe as we stay here. And release. Relax everything down on the mat. Your legs can be bent or straight, whatever you like. We'll take a couple of breaths and then we'll repeat that. Excellent. So one more time, legs up into tabletop. Knees are just over top of the hips. Place your block on your thighs, hands on the block. Here with your hands, you can spread your fingers far apart. Head can stay down or you can lift it up. Bring your legs in towards you, pressing your thighs into the block. And then press your hands into the block as well. Legs in towards you, hands into the block at the same time. Engaging the thighs, the fronts of the legs, your quadriceps, as well as the core, your abdominal muscles, and also your upper body as you press your hands into the block. Just a little bit longer here. Continue to breathe. Good. Release. Soften everything down towards the mat. Make your way on up into a tabletop position. Hands and knees. From here, we're going to continue to work on strengthening the core, and we'll add in a little bit of balance as we work with spinal balance, or sometimes it's called bird dog. So we're going to bring the right knee on one block and then the left hand on the other block. So you're in tabletop with right knee on a block and left hand on the block. Spread your left fingers far apart on your block. As you take your next breath in, extend your left leg back and your right arm out in front. As you breathe out, bring elbow and knee towards one another. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow towards knee. Inhale, lengthen. If you're looking for more of a challenge, you can hover your right toes away from the ground. Inhale, lengthen, and then place your hand and knee down on the ground. From here, with your right hand on the ground and left toes on the ground, we're going to lift the left leg up and lower it down. Keep your right foot hovering away from the ground. Push the ground away from you with both of your hands. Lifting and lowering that leg. Last one here. Great. Switching over and doing this on the other side. So now the left knee will be on the block and the right hand will be on the block. So coming into your tabletop position once again, shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees, fingers spread far apart. As you take your next breath in, lengthen your arm and your leg out in front. Left arm, right leg. As you breathe out, bring it in together. Elbow and knee, crunch in. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, elbow and knee. Inhale, lengthen, reach long, take up space. Exhale, elbow and knee. A couple more times here for more of a challenge. You can try to hover your left foot away from the ground. One more time, extending out. Crunch it in. Inhale, lengthen. Place your left hand down on the mat, fingers spread far apart. We're going to lift and lower the right leg. So your left toes can be on the mat, or you can hover your foot away from the mat. We'll do 4 more here. Last 2. Good. Release. Placing the blocks off to the side. We're going to now step our right foot forward to the right side of our mat. We're going to place the block to the inside of the right foot on the second or the medium height. Bringing your right knee directly over top of your ankle. We're going to work on strengthening the right hip flexors here. So here in your lizard lunge, your right knee is directly over your ankle. Your left toes are tucked under. Ground down into your left knee and your left toes on the mat. Hands can be on your hips or wherever you like. We're working on the hip flexors here. So we're going to lift the right leg up And then place the foot on the block. Lower it back down to the starting position. Lift it up. Lower it down. Find your balance here. Find somewhere out in front of you on the ground or on the wall in front to help you with your balance. This is called your dristi. Try to move slowly and with a lot of control. See if you can stay light with your right foot this entire time. One more time right here. Good. Bring your hands down to your mat. Step back into tabletop, and we'll take that right over to the second side. So left foot will step forward to the left side of the mat. Make sure your right hip is over top of your right knee. Left knee is over top of your ankle. Bringing the block so it's just to the inside of your left foot. And it's on the medium height. Sitting up tall here in your lunge, lifting the heart and the head up a little bit towards the sky. And then you can tuck your right toes under as well to help you with your balance. Grounding down into your right knee and your right toes. We're going to lift the left foot up, place it on the block, lower it back down. Continuing just like this, trying to move slowly and with a lot of control. Good, let's do 3 more. Last one right here. Bringing your hands down to the mat, step back into your tabletop. And from here, bring your hands farther out in front of you, fingers spread far apart. Toes tuck under, lift your hips up and back into your downward facing dog. Send your chest back towards your thighs, pedal it out through your legs. Find any movement here that feels really good for you right now. Make your way to the top of your mat. Place a block now in between your inner thighs. So just like we did in our bridge pose. So the block will be at the skinniest height or skinniest level. Fold down over your legs. Can you spread all of your toes farther apart on your mat? Grounding down into each of your toes. As you breathe in, lift up halfway, hands on the shins. As you breathe out, fold down. Squeeze your thighs, your inner thighs in towards one another, strengthening the adductor muscles, finding more engagement here. As you breathe in, lift all the way up. As you exhale, hands come right back down. So this entire time that we have the block here in between our legs, I really want you to squeeze the legs in towards one another, almost like they were going to touch each other. So we're strengthening, we're engaging the inner thighs. As you take your next breath in, reach up tall. Exhale, fold down over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, squeezing those legs in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, reach, take up space. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands at heart center. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. This time now reach your arms out into a T. Stay in your halfway lift and continue to squeeze your legs in towards one another, squeezing that block. Reach your heart forward. One more breath here. Fold down over your legs. Good. From here, place your block towards the center of the mat. You can place it on the medium height or on the tallest height if you're looking for more of a challenge. I'll start with the medium height. Fold down over your legs at the top of your mat. Standing forward fold. As you breathe in, come into a halfway lift. As you breathe out, fold. Hands plant down, fingers spread far apart. We're going to hop our feet back into our downward facing dog. And try not to touch your block at all as you hop back. So I'm just noticing my block is a little bit too far towards my feet, so I'm going to bring it further up towards my hands. So the block should be right in between your feet and your hands, center of your mat. From here, shift your weight forward, fingers spread far apart. Hop your feet up to your hands when you feel ready, trying not to touch your block at all. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands on the shins, reach your heart forward. Exhale, fold down. Plant your hands down, ground down into your hands. Hop back into downward facing dog. Good, I'm just going to switch the height of my block to the highest height. When you are ready, shift your weight forward. Bend your knees, get a little bit bouncy through your legs, engage your core, hop forward to the front of your mat. As you breathe in, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold over your legs, plant your hands down. Hop back into your downward facing dog. Good, we're going to move like this a little bit faster. If you prefer to move slow though, continue to move slow. If you're moving with me, hop up to the top of your mat without touching your block. And then right away, hop back, downward facing dog. Hop forward. I'm just going to adjust my block so it's on the medium height and hop back. We'll do this 2 more times. Hop forward and hop back. 1 more time, hop forward and hop back. Good. Make your way to the top of your mat. Place your block down on the lowest height, just behind your feet. We're going to come into some squats with our feet or with our heels elevated on the block. So this is going to target more of your quadriceps, or the fronts of your thighs, than you normally would. So bringing the heels up onto the block. Getting sturdy here, finding a good solid foundation for your squat. Hands can be wherever you like them. And then when you're ready, lower your hips down into your squat. Keep your chest lifted. Good. As you breathe in, lift up to your standing position. As you breathe out, lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Good. 2 more times. Good. From here, step off of your block. Bring your block back in between your legs. Ground down into your feet. Spread your toes farther apart on your mat. Bring your hands together at heart center. We'll take a few breaths here. Continue to squeeze in towards your block. Continue to breathe as we stay here. Holding this pose, but making sure you're not holding your breath. Good. Release your block. Placing it off to the side of your mat. As you breathe in, lift all the way up, tall mountain. Exhale, fold down over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step into a tabletop position. From here, we're going to work on some staggered push-ups from our knees. So we'll use the block on the lowest height, finding tabletop, and then bringing your knees farther back behind you. Shoulders will be over the wrists. Left hand is on the block, right hand is on the mat. All of your fingers are spread far apart. Take a breath in here. And as you breathe out, lower down to the mat. As you breathe in, lift up. As you breathe out, lower down. As you breathe in, lift up. Continue to move like this. If you would like to move faster, feel free to. Just making sure that your breath is still flowing. It's not becoming restricted. You're not losing your breath as you move through these push-ups. We'll do 2 more before we switch sides. Good, excellent. Let's actually just sit down onto our feet, kneeling position, shoulders over the hips, and we'll take a few breaths here. Noticing your breath as it moves in and as it moves out. Good. We have those staggered push-ups now on the second side. So the right hand will come on the block. Block is on the lowest level once again. You can come into tabletop and then bring your knees farther back. So you're in your modified plank position or plank on your knees. Shoulders over the wrists, fingers spread far apart. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, lower down towards the ground. As you inhale, lift up. As you exhale, lower down. Continuing to move like this. We'll do 3 more. Last one. Good. Bring your block to the front of your mat. Tabletop position, shift forward, modified plank, lower down to your belly. From here, reach your arms out in front of you. Your hands are grabbing onto your block. So your fingers can be grabbing onto the edges of your block. Palms are right on top of the block. Your blocks are on the lowest height. Keep your forehead down to the ground, or your nose down to the ground. I'm going to keep mine lifted so that you can hear me good. What we're going to do is we're going to lift and lower the arms, continuing to hold on to the blocks as we do that. So when you are ready, you can start. Again, keep your nose down to the ground. So your spine is in a neutral position. Good, let's do 2 more. Good. Bring one hand over top of the other on your mat. Rest your forehead on your hands. Again, I'm going to keep my head lifted so it doesn't muffle my mic. Good. From here, bring your arms out into a T. So straight out to either side, still grabbing onto the blocks, just like we did in that first exercise. Nose is still glued to the mat. When you are ready, we're going to lift and lower the arms here. We'll do 5 more. Good. Bring your arms straight out in front. Lifting and lowering the arms. We'll do about 8 of these. Two more. Good. From here, bring your arms back out to a T off to either side. Take a couple of breaths right here, keeping your hands on your blocks. Connecting back in with your breath. And then as you feel ready, we're going to lift and lower the arms. 6 more. One more. Good. Release. Bring one hand over top of the other on your mat and rest your forehead onto your hands. Good. From here, bring your arms out in front of you. Grab onto your block with your right hand. Legs long back behind you. As you breathe in, lift everything up. Arms and legs. Right hand is holding on to the block. Stay lifted here, but bring your arms towards your hips. As you switch the block over to your left hand, bring your arms back in front of you. Switching the block to the right hand and then to the left hand, to the front, right hand, to the hips and to the left hand. Continuing to move like this. Staying lifted here, finding strength through the back body and finding mobility through the shoulders. Let's switch directions now. So we'll move with the block in the left hand. Block comes over the hips or over the low back, to the right hand out in front, to the left hand, over the hips, to the right hand, and then out in front, to the left hand, both hands over to the right hand, continuing like this a few more times. Excellent. Release down. Bring one hand over top of the other. Rest your forehead down onto your stacked hands. The last thing here, lying on our back. Reach your arms out in front of you, grabbing onto one block with both of your hands. Your block is lengthwise in between your hands. As you breathe in, lift everything up off of the mats. If you would prefer to just lift through the upper body, you can do that, keeping the legs down. As you breathe out, lower down. Inhale, we lift. As you breathe out, lower. Twice more. Good. Release down. Take a couple of breaths here on your belly. You can stack your hands and rest your forehead on your hands. Bring your hands now underneath your shoulders. Press up into tabletop. Bring your hands a little farther out in front of you. Fingers spread far apart. Toes will tuck under. Lift your hips up and back into your downward facing dog. We'll just take a few breaths here. You can pedal it out. You can find movement, or you can find stillness in your down dog. Good. Lower down to your knees. Come to a kneeling position. Shoulders over the hips, sitting down onto the feet. Toes are untucked. And place your blocks on either side of you towards your feet. Hands on the blocks, fingers spread nice and far apart. From here, we're just going to work on lifting the knees up away from the mat. So grounding down into the block with the hands, engaging the core, the legs, and also the arms. Lifting the knees up, lowering them down. Lifting and lowering. So push your blocks away from you into the ground with your hands, with your arms, and your shoulders. Good. From here, we're going to see if we can lift the entire lower body up away from the ground. Lower it back down and lift. One more time, just like that. Good. Now, can you bring your legs through in front, lowering down to a seat with your legs extended out in front. If that didn't work for you, no worries. Come into this position in a different way. This is your practice, so make it work for you. Good. From here, we're going to bring the blocks towards our hips. Hands on the blocks, fingers spread far apart. And similar to what we were just doing, we're going to push the ground away from us, pushing the hands into the blocks, lifting the hips up, lower them back down. We have a few more. Good. Now this time as you lift up, can you also lift your right leg? Lower it down. This time, can you lift your left leg? One more on each side. Good. Now can you try to lift both legs and your hips? Lower down. Good. From here, bend your left leg so the foot comes in towards your hips, and then place your block, one block on the medium height to the inside of your right foot. Stay nice and tall here through your spine, through your torso. You can grab onto your left shin with your hands for some support. We're going to lift the right leg up over the block, placing it to the other side of the block, lifting it back over the block to that starting position. And we'll move like this several times. So engaging through the quadriceps, the front of the thigh, as well as the hip flexors, the very top of the thigh. Also engaging through the lower leg and the ankle, so flexing the toes up. Great, we have just one more. Good, switching right over to the second side. Left leg will be long, right leg comes in. The block is on the medium height, just to the inside of the left foot. You can hold on to your right shin, staying nice and tall and strong through your spine here. When you're ready, engaging, strengthening into the left side, lift your left leg up, placing it over to the other side of your block, lifting it up again, coming back to that starting position, and continuing to move just like this. Lifting the leg up, placing the heel down to either side of the block. Engage the front side of your body here. The front of your leg, the front of your lower leg as well, and your core. Lift up through your heart a little bit more. One more time. Place your foot down. Bring your legs out long. And let's actually bend the legs. Bring the hands a little bit behind you. Bring your feet to the edges of the mat and just start to bring your legs from side to side. Just like the windshield wipers of your car, side to side, mobilizing a little bit through the hips, releasing after that last movement that challenge the hip flexors and quadriceps. Good. From here, bring your blocks back towards you on either side of your hips. On the lowest level once again. Fingers spread nice and far apart on your blocks. When you're ready, ground down into your heels. Flex your toes up towards the sky. Push your hands into the blocks. Lift your hips up. Engage your core. Lower down. Twice more, and then we'll hold at the top. Lifting and lowering one more time. This time we'll stay lifted for a couple of breaths. So it's okay if your hips are very close to the ground. That's totally fine. Just one more breath, trying to stay strong through the arms and the shoulders and the core. Good. Lower down. Place your blocks off to the side of your mats. Keep your left leg straight. Cross your right leg over. We're just coming into a simple seated twist, half Lord of the Fishes pose. You can wrap now your left arm around your right leg. Reach your right arm up and bring the right fingers behind your back. The palm is lifted here, so you're tenting up onto the fingertips to help you find more length through your spine in your twist. Good. We're here for a few more breaths. Perhaps as you breathe in, you can twist a little bit more. And as you breathe out, you can relax into the twist, softening, enjoying this twist. Good. Come through center. Now we'll bring the right leg straight out in front of us. Cross your left leg over. Sitting up tall here. Wrap the right arm around the left leg. Reach your left arm up high to the sky. And then tense your left fingertips behind you on your mat. So the palm of the left hand is lifted. Stay strong and lifted through your back and through your chest. Lifting up also through the top of your head. As you breathe in, maybe you can twist a little bit deeper. As you breathe out, maybe you can relax and soften into the pose. One more breath. Come back through center. Bend both legs in front of you. Lower yourself down onto your back. Once you arrive, we'll do one more thing with the block, and then I promise we're done. We'll place the block in between our legs and move into that bridge work one more time. So feet are planted down about hip distance apart. All 10 toes are facing to the front of your mat. Ground down into your feet to lift yourself up into your bridge. Bring your inner thighs, your legs in towards one another. Lower down as you breathe out. Lift up as you breathe in. Squeeze the block. Imagine that your legs are actually able to touch one another. Feel this engagement in your adductor muscles, your inner thigh muscles. Good. We're going to do just one more. The next time that your hips are down to the mats, fully release them there. Bring your feet to the edges of your mat, legs are still bent, and just start to take your legs from side to side in a windshield wiper motion, similar to what we did in our seated position. Excellent. Bring your knees into your chest. Bring your knees now towards your armpits. And start to rock from side to side. Extend your left leg long. Keep your right knee in towards your chest. We'll take just a couple of breaths here. Good. Let's now release. So you can bring the left knee into your chest and you can extend your right leg out long towards the top of your mat. Perhaps see if you can bring your right foot even farther away from you, finding a bit of a bigger stretch in the hip flexors. One more breath. Good. Release into your Shavasana. Final posture of class. You can take up as much space here on your mat as you would like. Your legs can be bent if that feels better for you today. If you would like to stay a little bit more connected to your breath and to yourself, you can place one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. Give yourself this time to rest. Allow your body to soften down a little bit deeper towards your mat, towards the ground beneath your mat. Give yourself permission to rest. We'll spend just another minute or two in our Shavasana, and my voice will guide you back when it is time. If it feels right for you, begin to breathe a little bit deeper. And maybe as you do that, you can really feel your belly rising as you breathe in. And perhaps you feel your body softening and releasing towards your mat as you breathe out. Take a couple more breaths like that. And then when you are ready, bring some movement into your body. Move in a way that feels good for you right here, right now. Take your time to come over onto one side. As you get there, you can bring your knees in towards your chest, and you can use your bottom arm as a pillow for your head. Take one more breath right here. And then you can press yourself up into a seated position where we will close class together. I hope you enjoyed this class. I hope it was fun to try something a little bit different and to use our yoga blocks in a little bit of a different way. Thank you once again for being here. If you did enjoy this class, be sure to hit that subscribe button. This way you won't miss any of my new classes that I will be sharing on here. And you can also leave me a comment. You can let me know how you are feeling now after the class. If you have any requests or suggestions for upcoming videos, you can leave those there as well. I hope you have a wonderful day. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste.